He says here in verse 19 in Colossians, he says, husbands, I want you to love your wives and do not be bitter toward them. When he speaks of love, we know that the word he uses isn't just to like your wives, isn't just sort of as mates to your wives, buddies or something. He actually says, I want you to, he uses the Greek word agape your wives. And that really is that unconditional, that self-giving, that sacrificial love towards your wives. And it's an active word. It's not a passive thing. It's not say I love you. Well, actually, it's a demonstrative word. Husbands, demonstrate your love to your wives in giving of yourself for your wife, in laying down your desires to serve your wife. This is what Paul is saying here. Agape love, it's that unconditional, self-giving love. Isn't this the love that the Lord has for us? So we know that God so loved the world that he gave. He demonstrated it. It was a giving love. We know that God demonstrated his love for us, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ laid down his life. It was demonstrated, his love. That's agape love. Agape love isn't saying, I love you, just signing a card and saying that or something. Agape love is, I'll serve you. I'll lay down all my desires so that you can fulfill yours. Wow, that's an amazing love. That's not a selfish love. It's not of, well, I'm boss and you serve me. Not at all. You're not boss. You've got a responsibility to love and cherish, nurture your wife that she might flourish. Husbands, that's your role. That's the love that God asks of you. And he says then, husbands, love your wife and do not be bitter toward them. I was thinking, why would he say that? Do not be bitter toward them. Maybe he's implying that times there may be the opportunity or the reason to possibly have something against your wife. Maybe, there's something has happened. And he says, but even if something happens, don't be bitter. Don't be holding something over your wife. Don't have some met expectation or something about some heaviness on your wife because she's not meeting an expectation. Don't you use that to become bitter. There's no excuse for it. Love your wives. Care for, nourish, cherish your wives. There's no reason not to. Don't become bitter towards your wives. I was thinking about that verse in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8, because none of us are perfect. And if somebody, pointed out all my flaws every time I made a mistake, well, sure, that's probably all we talk about. There'd be no room for any other conversation. You messed up there and you could do better there, and that's no way to live. But what does 1 Peter 4 tell us? Verse 8 says, for love covers a multitude of sins. We all miss the mark. But when you love someone, that love just washes over it with grace. It just administers grace over the situation. And it covers the inadequacies. It covers the failures. Rather than you trying to expose the failings, you cover the failings. You administer grace and more grace and more grace. That's what he says husbands are to do. Instead of you becoming bitter about something, use as an opportunity to administer grace.